Hey guys, welcome back to RUE MORGUE TV. I'm Executive Editor Andrea Subasati, and we'll get to your episode in just a second. I have a real quick announcement to make. RUE MORGUE has partnered with Messed Up Puzzles for a special edition puzzle based off our artwork from issue 186, and that is the Halloween Reboot Revival artwork by Blake Evernden. And that issue is long sold out, so this is one of the only ways to get your hands on that artwork, plus you get a 1,000-piece puzzle to boot. I love puzzles. So that's available now for pre-order. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. Please enjoy this episode. Like, subscribe, share it with all your friends, and we'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, Yasmina here with another episode of the Rewind Zone here on RUE MORGUE TV. And today we're going to be talking about Rock and Roll Nightmare! Woo! Rock and Roll Nightmare is a classic Canadian flick. Came out in 1987. It was directed by John Fasano. He also did Zombie Nightmare and Black Roses, which happens to be my favorite heavy metal horror movie. But I decided to talk about Rock and Roll Nightmare for this episode because John Mickle, aka Thor, needs no introduction. Fucking Thor. Rock and Roll Nightmare starts out with a family in this barn/house in the middle of nowhere, and the mom is cooking breakfast and she calls the husband and son down to eat, and they come down because they heard her scream, and then the father looks in the kitchen and she's not in there, but the oven is shaking, and then all of a sudden, this dollar store skeleton wrapped in seaweed painted red comes out. It's like the greatest thing ever. So cut to 10 years later, and the beginning of this movie has the longest van ride in movie history probably ever. In fact, it's the only thing that people ever talk about when Rock and Roll Nightmare comes up. The long-ass van ride scene at the beginning. And personally, I actually don't think it's as long as people make it out to be. And I met Thor, and he actually told me, the first thing that he said to me was, oh, that fucking van scene. And I was like, yeah, but you know what? The song that plays during that scene and the fact that the van is a sweet 70s white with orange and brown stripes on the sides makes up for the awkward length of that scene, in my opinion. But it's hilarious because it's so short of a movie. They had to cut all these exterior shots of the house into it just so they could make it feature length. So Thor and his band are going to this house in the middle of nowhere so they could rehearse and record their new album. And every band member, of course, brings their girlfriend along to the studio because that's always a great idea. However, one of the girls is the keyboard player and she looks exactly like Jenny Slate. It's crazy. So during this scene, Thor is wearing a ridiculous shirt. It's like a tuxedo jacket. It's silk, silver, and black, cheetah print with like one button and tails. It's very strange. All of his outfits in this movie are pretty ludicrous, but it's still incredible because it's Thor. While they're playing the song, one of the girlfriends just starts tripping out on what my guess is evil. And then all of a sudden, there's this little penis monster that shows up, like with one eyeball. I'm not really sure if it was the director's intention to make it phallic or not, but it's clearly a dick. And it barfs slime into one of the girlfriend's drinks, and then it just kind of skedaddles away, all penis-y like. And after they rehearse one song, Thor says, all right, let's take a break.
Everybody take 5. It's not my fault.
So the drummer and his girlfriend, they go out for a walk, and it's so very clearly rural Ontario. If you live in Ontario, you're watching this scene and you're like, yep, that's literally like right by the 401. And they're starting to get it on.
We're far enough away from the house to do what we have to do.
You want to do it right here on the grass with all the twigs and mud and things?
And then all of a sudden, a huge monster hand pops out of his chest, of course, fondles her boobie a little bit, and because of the transmitting the evil, she's now also a demon. At this point of the movie, I'm actually lost as to who's a demon, who's not a demon. It's kind of hard to follow. And then there's another couple who are having more sad sex to spooky music. It's very weird. And all of a sudden, they're demons too, obviously. Then a little kid just shows up out of nowhere. And he's in the kitchen, and Jenny Slate and her beau see him, and they chase him down into the basement or a barn outside. I can't remember, even though this movie is literally one location. The kid is obviously a demon, so you get it. So at this point of the movie, pretty much everybody is a demon because everybody is missing from the dinner table except for Thor and his girlfriend. So Thor goes into the kitchen to get his girlfriend a Coke, and he reaches for the Coke in the fridge, and like the rotisserie chicken tries to bite his hand. Now we're at the end of the movie, and Thor's girlfriend is no doubt possessed because she morphs into this giant overlord monster.
You haven't been listening to me. I told you they were dead, and so am I.
And then the battle begins, and then Thor all of a sudden is very cavalier about this, about his girlfriend turning into like a giant fucking monster.
Nice effect, Randy. I like that look.
And he's all like, I'm here prepared to do battle with you because I am the intercessor.
I am the intercessor.
And then his whole outfit changes, and he's wearing a cape and gauntlets and a studded underwear piece, and his hair is like teased like crazy. It's amazing. Heavy metal starts playing. This song is great too. It's like, we accept the challenge. So he's battling this monster, and it's hilarious. The monster is like throwing these weird fleshy boomerangs at him, and they've got eyeballs and they're like tentacles, and they suck his chest like little suction cups. It's fucking hilarious because it's clearly somebody on the crew is throwing these at him and he's catching them. It's amazing. He's fighting this giant monster, and he chokes the monster, and the monster's all like, you have defeated me. I let you have the house, and I guess I'll fuck off now. Bye. And then Thor goes to visit his dead friends, I think, at the graveyard, and is all like, I've avenged you, blah, blah, blah. Or it could be the family from 10 years ago. I'm not really sure. I've seen this movie, I swear to God. It's just, the ending is a little bit confusing. And then it gets even more confusing because then they just show an outdoor exterior shot of this suburban home, and that's it. That's how the movie ends. Like, whose fucking house is that? Whatever. I'm not questioning it. And there you have it. There's Rock and Roll Nightmare. The VHS is not a common tape, but I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube, and I think it's only like an hour and 15 minutes, but it's still a fabulous movie. So thanks again for tuning in and watching this episode of The Rewind Zone on RUE MORGUE TV. And don't forget, be kind, rewind, or else Thor is gonna show up in a fucking sweet vest with whimsical colors and rock your fucking face off with some heavy metal.
Stig, great work, man.
Yeah, see, I told you this vacation would do us some good, huh?
Yeah, I feel like a changed man.
Paranoia, can't stop the poop.